Yahtzee Slots, how to play. The object of the game is to have the highest total score. Give each player a score sheet and pencil. Set out the slot machine and dice. The player who most recently went to a casino goes first, then play proceeds clockwise. On your turn, load all 5 dice into the dice hopper. Next, pull the lever to spin the reel and wait until they stop. If you don't have 3 matching icons, you proceed to the dice drop. However, if you get 3 matching icons in the center horizontal row, diagonals do not count, then you get to apply that icon to your turn. The slot machine icons are Yahtzee. You immediately score a Yahtzee. Don't drop the dice, your turn is now over, unless it is a Yahtzee bonus. Then you drop the dice exactly 1 more time before ending your turn. Bonus. Score 35 points in the bonus box in the upper section of the score sheet, then continue your turn like normal. If the section is already filled, ignore it and keep playing. Lose your turn. Your turn ends immediately. You do not drop the dice or count any previous dice. You score a 0 in one spot, then end your turn. Extra spin and dice drop. You can take a 4th spin and dice drop on this turn if you want. You may only have 1 additional spin and dice drop per turn. Wild. This counts as any icon. 3 wilds can be anything you pick, while 1 or 2 wilds must follow the other matching icons. For example, if you have 2 Yahtzees and 1 wild, then you get a Yahtzee. Or if you have 2 lose your turn with 1 wild, then you must lose your turn. After you spin the slot machine, it's time for the dice drop. Push the button on top of the machine to drop the dice into the tray. If you get a combination you want, mark your score and end your turn. Otherwise, continue with a 2nd spin and dice drop by setting any dice you want to keep in the dice holder, then reloading the rest back into the dice hopper. Repeat the process of pulling the lever and dropping the dice up to a total of 3 times. You can re-drop previously set aside dice if you want. You can choose to stop at any time, or you must stop after your 3rd drop, unless you earned an extra spin and dice drop. When you stop, you must score based on your dice or a 0. Each box can only be filled 1 time, with each game being contained to a single column of 13 boxes. You can fill in any empty box on any section in any order. If you cannot fill in any box because your dice fail to meet the criteria, then you must put a 0 in an empty box. In the upper section of the score sheet, you add together only the dice of the same number and enter it into the appropriate box. At the end of the game, if you score over 63 points in this section, then you get a bonus 35 points. In the lower section, you need to meet the specific criteria, then you either earn a set amount of points no matter what the dice are, or you add up the value of all 5 dice and record the total number as your score. The chance box does not need to match to anything specific, just add up the dice. A Yahtzee is 5 dice of the same number. If you roll or spin multiple Yahtzees, then for each additional Yahtzee you score, put a check mark in the Yahtzee bonus box. There is no limit to the number of Yahtzee bonuses you can score. However, you can only score Yahtzee bonuses after scoring your Yahtzee. If your Yahtzee box is 0, you cannot score any bonuses. When you score a Yahtzee bonus, you must also fill in an empty box on the score sheet in the following order. First, you must try and score the total of all 5 dice in the appropriate upper section box. If that box is filled, then try to fill in 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind in the lower section. If they are also filled, then fill in the chance or any empty lower section score boxes. If those are already filled, then you must put a 0 in an empty box in the upper section. If your Yahtzee bonus was on a slot machine spin, add your Yahtzee bonus checkmark and then perform exactly 1 more dice drop, scoring the best possible option in an open box on your score sheet. If you cannot score, you must enter a 0 in any open box. Once each player has filled in all 13 category boxes, the game ends. Each player adds up their score, including any bonus in the upper section and any Yahtzee bonuses in the lower section. The player with the highest grand total score is the winner.